What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWE talent is now on their way to Saudi Arabia, Jim Ross is cancer-free, concerning Kevin Owens news, the extent of Chad Gable's injury, the real reason why WWE won't push Karrion Kross, the real reason why WWE cancelled a match at Night of Champions, Hulk Hogan's wrestling promotion already flops, a WWE wrestler quietly moved to the Alumni section, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. Now let's do the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at, is Night of Champions still happening? Is WWE's 28th June PLE in Saudi Arabia still happening? Fans have been asking this ever since the recent hostilities in the Middle East involving Iran, the US, and Israel. A recent report that some WWE production staff were stuck in Qatar furthered buzz about whether the event is going to happen or not. But it seems that WWE is moving forward as talent has been sent to Saudi Arabia. It appears that WWE's The Show Must Go On policy is in full effect, as PW Insider reported, WWE's chartered flight to Saudi Arabia carrying most of the talent heading to this week's Friday Night SmackDown and Night of Champions in Riyadh left Miami, Florida around 5 p.m. Eastern this afternoon. We're told that WWE's John Gable, who oversees the production of the Saudi shows and is very much the company liaison to that country, flew from Riyadh to meet with the talent and take the charter flight back over with them, in part to assure everyone that everything was fine and that this trip would be no different than the usual visits to the Middle East. And so far, a ceasefire is in effect between Israel and Iran, which hopefully will continue. There's been buzz that Iran might retaliate against the US and/or Israel over the recent bombings of Iran's alleged nuclear weapons production facilities, but WWE isn't letting that stop them from going ahead with its show in Saudi Arabia. But another Night of Champions news, the WWE staffers who were stranded in Qatar have reportedly left the nation for Saudi Arabia. Air travel in Qatar was temporarily halted after Iran launched attacks on the US military base, but things have now quieted down, allowing staffers to make it to Saudi Arabia. Next up, good news as Jim Ross announces he's cancer-free. A legendary pro wrestler announcer Jim Ross is updating fans on his recent battle with colon cancer. The WWE Hall of Famer and current AEW announcer recently underwent surgery, leading to an outpouring of well wishes from fans and fellow wrestlers. The good old JR recently told fans on his podcast that the cancer's gone, which I'm very happy to say. So I'm blessed that my health has returned and I'm feeling pretty damn good. This isn't JR's first battle with cancer, as he's been a beacon of inspiration at proving that he's as tough as those $2 steaks he's been talking about. Ross added that he's ready to get back into the announcer's booth, saying, "Yeah, I'm tired of sitting at home and I'm excited about the opportunities that await. I'm feeling better. My plan is to be in Dallas for the big event AEW All In." Now we're thrilled to hear JR has won his recent battle with cancer and can't wait to see what's next for the man who many consider the GOAT of wrestling announcers. Next up, when is Rey Mysterio returning? Dominic's deadbeat dad recently spoke with La Platica about the groin injury he suffered on SmackDown before WrestleMania 41. "So I was explaining to someone yesterday that I tore my groin. He goes, 'How did it happen? Was it when they pulled you?' I said, 'No. The guy that I was wrestling stood in front of me. He bailed out of the ring underneath the bottom rope and I went to chase him, and when I pushed off with my left leg, I just heard a rip noise. Like, that's it. I tore my groin like that, and yeah, usually it happens on the simplest shit.' Although the injury kept Papa Ray from working this year's show of shows, it did have a benefit as Ray discussed his recovery. Good, pretty good. I started my PT, not to mention I had busted an eardrum as well, so I fixed that during my time off. I'm on the road to recovery and should be back, hopefully by August." Ray was working a program against El Grande Americano, but as we'll see next, that could also be on hold. As next up, what is the true extent of Chad Gable's injury? Now it's a little bit of bad news on Chad Gable as we now know the nature of his injury. As reported earlier, Gable is expected to be off television for some time, with Bryan Alvarez revealing on the Wrestling Observer Radio what's really going on with Gable and how he was written off TV this week. We got a bunch of other injury notes to get into. Chad Gable is going to require shoulder surgery, which explains the angle on Raw when he got into an argument with Penta. Penta gave him the arm breaker, the slash shoulder breaker. He sold it huge. It appears that he's going to be out for a while. The WWE has been dealing with a rash of injuries, and it's unclear if it's just a case of bad luck or perhaps wrestlers working too rough a style. Whatever the case, we're sending our best out to Chad Gable for a fast and full recovery. Meanwhile, fans of El Grande Americano will have to see what's next for him as he also recovers. What a coincidence, right? Next up, concerning Kevin Owens news. And WWE superstar Kevin Owens is another talent dealing with injury issues, but in KO's case, his injury could have led him to retire. Kevin Owens gave an update on the What Do You Want to Talk About podcast with Cody Rhodes, saying, "Since then, I felt fine. My neck's been fine. I'm not in pain. I have no really any symptoms of what you'd expect somebody with a spinal cord injury to have. In the last week, for some reason, the symptoms all came in one shot. Every symptom you'd expect me to have, the pain in the neck, the stuff going down, the arms, the legs not really responding, it's all been happening, so it's been pretty brutal. I can't wait for the surgery and then to move forward, whatever that looks like." Bryan Alvarez recently updated fans on the Wrestling Observer Radio about Owens' neck injury and what's next in his treatment plan. Kevin Owens has not had his neck surgery yet. He's currently waiting. They're letting his spinal cord heal as much as it can on its own, and then when they go for surgery, they'll find out how extensive it's going to be, depending on how the spinal cord looks at the time. They're looking at mid-July, and he says hopefully it's a normal neck fusion. We don't know. According to Alvarez, Owens' recovery efforts haven't been easy, and he said that everything had been fine till, I guess, about a week ago, and then all of a sudden his symptoms he would get somebody with a spinal cord injury to have in the last week. He said pain in the neck, going down the arms, legs, not really responding, all happening in the last week, and it's been brutal. And he cannot wait for the surgery, so all the best to him as well. That's no fun. According to Ringside News, Owens has been dealing with a serious spinal cord injury for months, but that didn't stop him from wrestling. However, his return will likely be a long way off. As the Observer added, there is a surgery, best case scenario, where it wouldn't be a year, but in most cases, with neck surgery with wrestlers, it's 15 months, in that range, 13, 14, 15 months. So it's going to be a long time, and it's not like 100% that he'll be able to return, but hopefully he'll be able to return. And we're sending our best to Kevin Owens as he deals with this medical crisis, and we'll continue monitoring the story. Next up, the real reason WWE cancelled a match at Night of Champions. And was Dominic Mysterio really hurt, or was he written off Night of Champions for reasons unknown? The current Intercontinental Champion was scheduled to defend the belt against AJ Styles at this Saturday's PLE, but the match was pulled. However, there are now conflicting reports about Mysterio's status, with speculation that the bout was cancelled due to the recent Middle East hostilities, a theory which invites question why WWE would run other matches. However, PW Insider's Mike Johnson is reporting that Dirty Dominic injured his ribcage, but Johnson added that Dominic Mysterio isn't expected to be out for a long time, but it seems that Dominic really is injured. We're hoping that Dominic has a fast and full recovery. Next up, big plans for Aleister Black. Well, what's going on with Aleister Black? As fans of the Dutch Destroyer were excited when he returned to WWE earlier this year, but he hasn't done much on SmackDown, leading to concerns about WWE's plans for him. However, a new report from PW Insider states that WWE is very happy with Black's work, as well as his merchandise sales, so much so that they have creative plans to push him quite hard. This would be a great reversal of fortune for Black, who left WWE for AEW only to express disappointment with how he was booked in Tony Khan's promotion. Many of Aleister's adoring fans believe his skills and charisma, coupled with his remarkably creative mind, makes him the perfect candidate for a push. Despite this though, neither WWE or AEW has found a way to capitalize on these assets. In fact, some WWE fans are already expressing skepticism about this latest rumor, pointing out that Finn Balor was supposed to be in line for a big push, only to have another abysmal win-loss rate this year. But do you think Aleister Black will get a push? Should he? And if so, what type of program would you like to see him in? Should it be in the main event scene? Next up, Hulk Hogan's promotion flops already. Now, is Real American Freestyle, the promotion that Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff are working on, off to a bad start? WrestleTix is reporting on the ticket sales for its 30th August Real American Freestyle event in Cleveland, Ohio, and they're really nothing to write home about. The available tickets so far are 3,502, with the current setup of 3,882, but only 380 tickets have been sold. While the arena can hold 13,000 plus seats, the event is only making 3,882 seats available. Even only with 3,800 plus tickets being available, they've only sold just a handful of them. Some fans and observers are enjoying the irony of Bischoff's project apparently failing after years of him telling AEW president Tony Khan how to improve his promotion. Maybe he should just stay quiet for a bit. Next up, the real reason why WWE won't push Karrion Kross. Now, Karrion Kross is finally getting a PLE match at Night of Champions this Saturday, but it's been a long and winding road for Karrion Kross, where it seemed that WWE, despite the fan reaction, had no faith in him at all. But now it's been revealed by PW Torch for the real reason why they haven't pushed him, as some within WWE reportedly feel that Karrion Kross won't be a big star in the company because he quote-unquote doesn't really take bumps. I talked about this when he was all the rage in NXT and coming out of TNA. I was like, wrestlers are telling me when he gets to the main roster, nobody's going to put up with that fact that he doesn't take bumps. He's scared to bump. He doesn't flat back bumps. I don't know if he's got an injury or a concern. I know wrestlers who I chat with about things when I want wrestlers' insight are like, "Oh right Wade, you're right when you say Karrion Kross won't be a big star on the main roster, but one of the reasons you are missing out is just watch his next match. He just doesn't really take bumps. I mean, Roman Reigns doesn't take bumps, and he's a big star, so is this really the reason why WWE haven't pushed him at all? What do you guys think?" Next up, Bryan Danielson returns to action. That was intriguing news for Bryan Danielson fans as the American Dragon returned to the ring after AEW's taping of Dynamite and Collision. NoDQ.com reported, "At the end of the event, Max Caster interrupted Paragon and issued an open challenge. Danielson came down to the ring to accept the match. After Adam Cole superkicked Caster, the bell rang and Danielson immediately won with a lapel lock. The fans in attendance chanted 'Welcome home' to Danielson." Ex-user Jathan tweeted a video of the appearance which is sure to have fans talking about whether Danielson is ready for a match. While he hasn't wrestled an official match since 2024's Wrestle Dream, he recently showed up in AEW Grand Slam Mexico. Last April, he told Jamal Niaz, "Yeah, but my neck is wrecked, so it's no chance, but it's a risk versus reward at this point, right? So I want to be able to live comfortably with my wife and kids." And finally, a WWE wrestler quietly moved to the Alumni section. Last but not least, WWE has officially moved former Judgment Day member Carlito to its Alumni section. WWE quietly updated their site, shifting him to the Alumni section and confirming his exit after his return run, which began in 2023. But there you have it folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.